They open the register.
No, sir. Today is not the day.
Some people should never turn to crime. These burglary fails prove it. Whether it's sheer bad luck or outrageous blunders, these moments will leave you in disbelief. Watch as these thieves' worst-case scenarios play out spectacularly. When push comes to shove. A Connecticut homeowner faced a terrifying encounter when a man disguised as a delivery driver tried to force his way into their home. Doorbell footage from the East Haven property shows the suspect claiming to have a package, but when the homeowner opened the door, the man pulled out a gun and tried to enter. The quick-thinking homeowner shoved the armed suspect out of the doorway, forcing him to retreat. The man fled to a waiting getaway car driven by an accomplice and sped off. Police later identified the suspect as 37-year-old Xavier Arturo and his driver as 26-year-old John Carrasquillo Torres. Authorities revealed the pair had planned to tie up residents while committing the robbery. After executing a search warrant, investigators found over 1 kilogram of drugs and evidence linking the suspects to further crimes. Both are now in custody, facing serious charges. Not your average heist. In Brisbane, 3 would-be car thieves found themselves in an utterly bizarre and humiliating situation when they attempted to rob a garage. Breaking in, the trio was stunned to find their escape blocked by an unexpected roadblock, a 12-ton armored personnel carrier. Surveillance footage captured their struggles as they ransacked the garage, only to accidentally lock themselves out twice. Despite finding the keys, their plan unraveled further. One man attempted to angle grind a bollard in the way, while another clumsily tried operating the military vehicle. When you thought it couldn't get any worse, the APC driver reversed straight into one of his accomplices, injuring him, before fleeing the scene and abandoning his friend to crawl away. Not home, think again. A Texas man, Ethan Rodriguez, was playing video games when a man knocked on his apartment door, claiming he needed to check the air filter.
Can I help you? Oh yes, they came to check your air filters. I'm not sure. This is 38277.
Suspicious because of his past dealings with maintenance, Rodriguez spoke through his doorbell camera and sent the man away. Minutes later, he returned with an accomplice, both attempting to aggressively kick down the door. Rodriguez quickly retrieved his firearm and fired through the door when he saw the intruder's gun through his camera. He described feeling overwhelmed but determined to protect his brother, who was also in the apartment. In the chaos, Rodriguez fired 13 shots, driving the men away, though Contreras returned fire before fleeing. The man was caught and arrested a few days later. His criminal history shows that he's been arrested and charged with robbery and burglary several times since 2013. He just thought this was just going to be a lucky payday, but he was hit with a loud surprise. Can't wrangle a Wrangler. Cameras caught wannabe car thieves trying to swipe a 2023 Jeep Wrangler hybrid, but things didn't go as planned. They unplugged the horn, messed with wires, and thought they were clever, until the owners peeked out the window. Cue instant panic. The crooks bolted just as police arrived, proving that sometimes crime doesn't pay. It sprints awkwardly into the night. Help needed? This one started like a scene from a thriller, a woman in distress pounding on a door for help. But things quickly took a turn. Surveillance revealed her first fiddling with a nearby truck's doors, then moving to the front door for her big, panicked performance. She didn't stop there, effortlessly hopping over a suburban center console to raid a wallet, tossing it aside like a true pro. The woman was clearly a pro, hoping to get the owners to open the door so she wouldn't have to. But they were smarter than that. Then, she strolled out in a straight line, calm and collected, into a waiting getaway car. Friends to foes. When a 122-pound Great Dane mix becomes your home's security system, burglars better think twice. Robert Ward found that out the hard way. After sneaking into a downtown apartment and greeting Dubai, the Great Dane with pats and smiles, things seemed to be going his way. That is until Mom discovered him and let out a scream that flipped Dubai's switch from good boy to bite first, ask questions later. One rear-end chomp and a close encounter with his head later, Ward took off in a hurry, leaving Dubai proudly barking at the door. Police quickly caught the suspect, and thanks to Dubai's heroics, Mom, her blind son, and their home stayed safe. Lesson learned: never underestimate a loyal dog, even one polite enough to shake paws before saving the day. Bad idea. You'd think trying to break into a deputy's house with a brick in broad daylight would scream bad idea. Apparently, Roberto Garcia missed the memo. He smashed the glass of a deputy's window, only to be met by metal bars. When the family saw him mid-break-in, the deputy grabbed his gun and Roberto bolted to another house. His second attempt was equally chaotic, smashing into a teen's window. Unfortunately for Roberto, this teenager wasn't having it and gave him several whacks on the head. Not so smart. This pair of thieves thought they were smart when they pulled up to this house and clocked the camera. They decided to just not look at it and force their way into the house, but that ended up being a big mistake. The owner didn't even need a weapon to deal with these guys. He pushed them out to the yard and gave them a good beating, using nothing but his fists. Thief with a conscience. If there's ever a hall of fame for confusing criminals, this guy's going straight to the top. A Phoenix family left town for Thanksgiving, only to have their home hit by a burglar, not once, but twice in one night. But this was no ordinary robbery. Between stealing heirlooms, tax documents, and even their car, he decided to stop and feed the cat. As if that wasn't strange enough, when taking off with their Jeep, he carefully removed the car seat base and left it behind. Can't do it. These thieves thought they had what it took to rob a house, but they were wrong. After pulling up to the driveway, they pried the gate open and got inside, only to get to the main door, freak out, and make a run for it. Wrong house, Buster. A masked intruder stormed into this man's home on Neptune Drive, carrying a shotgun and looking for trouble. Unfortunately for him, the owner had other plans. As he entered, security footage shows the owner wrestling him to the ground. Despite being dragged down the steps, the owner flipped the situation when the thief lost his footing. Seizing the moment, he disarmed him with some well-placed knee and heel strikes and tossed the shotgun away for safety. This is a man ready for anything, but we can't say the same about the thief. Nope. In a nerve-wracking moment caught on camera, a Phoenix homeowner fought back as 4 suspects attempted to break into their home. Thanks to a motion sensor linked to their security cameras, the homeowner was alerted just in time. As the men kicked down the door, the homeowner responded with gunfire, sending the suspects running. Bribed with a cookie. 2 brazen burglars thought they had everything under control as they broke into a home, only to discover that the homeowner was one step ahead. After smashing glass to break through the back door, one of the robbers let his accomplice in, and they started ransacking the place. They even offered the family dog, Chloe, a cookie to keep her quiet. Meanwhile, the homeowner was watching the entire thing unfold live on his security cameras from his office 5 minutes away. Heart racing, he immediately called 911 while rushing back to his home. As police arrived, one robber tried to escape out a window, but was apprehended after running through the yard. Both men were charged with breaking and entering, and the homeowner credited his security system for helping catch the criminals. Chloe, the guard dog, meanwhile, just chilled on the couch waiting for another cookie. Unique weapons. In Northwest Harris County, a robbery suspect messed with the wrong guy, who fought back with a weed eater. While trimming a lawn on March 29th, the victim saw men stealing from his truck. When they tried to hit him with their car, he threw his weed whacker at their windshield. One suspect, Gerald Alexander, fell out, tried to stand, but kept stumbling while the victim threatened him. He eventually ran off and was later found at a hospital with minor injuries.
Stay on the floor, stay on the floor, stay on the floor. Stay on the floor. Stay on the floor.
Overpowered. A Clayton County homeowner, Whitfield Smith, turned the tables on a group of men trying to break into his car early one morning. After spotting the men on his Ring camera, he saw one approaching his BMW with a firearm. Smith, a veteran, grabbed his rifle and confronted them, exchanging gunfire. Fortunately, no one was injured, but the suspects managed to steal the firearm from Smith's truck before fleeing. Next time, they'll do their research before hitting a house. Candyman. In Stockton, California, a man posing as a candy seller attempted a home invasion. When the homeowner opened the door, 3 men rushed in. The woman inside screamed as they entered, and the candy man quickly fled. But their whole shtick was caught on camera, so when they tried it with a neighbor, it did not go the same way. Not so fast. In Escambia County, Florida, a homeowner stopped a home invasion by firing at the suspects. 3 men approached the house, and when the homeowner opened the door, 2 of them pushed inside, while a third pulled a handgun. Little did they know that 3 against 1 wasn't going to work this time. The homeowner pulled a fast one on them and shot at them. The suspects fled to a getaway car, but police later arrested 2. They faced charges related to the home invasion and firearm offenses. Authorities are still searching for 2 more suspects. Uno reverse card. In Dallas, a woman named Pam Miller defended herself during a break-in when a man kicked open her front door. After briefly leaving, he returned to force his way into her bedroom, prompting Miller to lock herself in the bathroom and grab her pistol. As the intruder tried to open the bathroom door, she fired a shot through it. Though she missed him, she freaked him out enough that he won't be coming back here anytime soon. Wave at the camera. A resident in Covina narrowly avoided a potential burglary thanks to his doorbell camera. The camera captured 2 suspects approaching his front door, one of them armed with a gun, while the other carried brass knuckles and a tire iron. Seeing them, he decided not to open the door and spoiled their whole plan.
Yo! Yo, Kevin!
Not welcome here. Surveillance footage captured the chilling moment 3 men attempted a home invasion in Whittier by impersonating gas company workers. The incident, which occurred on May 24th at around 7 p.m. on Bradwell Avenue, shows the suspects dressed in hoodies and face masks, with one wearing a brightly colored work vest. They initially approached the homeowners and asked to check the gas meters. However, the homeowners, feeling uneasy, refused entry. Moments later, the burglars returned, now armed with guns, and tried to force their way into the home. But the owner was able to rush inside and lock the doors again before the men went to the front steps. Lesson of a lifetime. This burglar broke into a house, expecting an easy theft. However, the homeowner's dogs had different plans. He was caught by the fierce dogs who attacked him and had him cornered. They weren't even trying to seriously injure him, just enough to keep him screaming. The guy had to resort to climbing the tree and waiting for the cops to come rescue him to get away from the dogs. It's a sign. A Central Indiana homeowner caught a would-be thief trying to steal his Trump sign. After a brief tug-of-war and a shove, the thief fled, probably regretting his poor life choices. Now, charges could mean jail time for the thief's poor decision-making. He should take that as a sign to stop messing with the neighbors like that. A full house. This man thought he found an easy house with no one present. And while there were no humans, the K9 family made quite the impression. They caught the man and refused to let go, with buckets of water being thrown at them. Nothing was deterring these good boys. He's left rethinking his decision of ever entering the premises in the first place. Break a leg. This couple was being robbed right outside their home, and the thieves thought they had it all figured out. But something totally unexpected happened. An SUV driven by a Good Samaritan came by and rammed right into the bike, sending the intruders flying in the air. These guys can't even say they walked away from this one, because seeing the condition of that leg, they're not going to. DIY takedown. These two thieves were outsmarted by their own stupidity. The footage reveals one thief throwing a brick that hits his partner square in the face, knocking him out cold. His friend, now burdened with an unconscious accomplice, is forced to drag him away. If all thieves were like this, the police wouldn't have to work overtime. Colorful situation. In Turlock, a pair of catalytic converter thieves learned that you don't need real guns to stop a crime. They thought they would be in and out in no time, but they were wrong. Video shows the suspect scrambling from under a car, only to be chased off by a family armed with paintball guns.
Get that mother.
Crack in his plan. This man named Braden Meisner chose the wrong house when he tried to steal a generator in broad daylight. He was almost out of the house when he saw the owner pulling in, so he put it back and pretended that he chased a thief out of the house and saved the day. What he didn't know was that the house was riddled with cameras and they caught his every move. The police arrested Meisner just down the street, not long after. Too late now to say sorry. This homeowner noticed a strange man in his driveway, attempting to break into his car. So he called 911 and sprung into action, pointing his weapon directly at the thief. The thief freaked out and started apologizing profusely. "I'm sorry, sir. Please, sir," and even claimed he wasn't trying to steal with a "I have money, sir." But it all fell on deaf ears. It's clear what he was there for, so now he can give his sorries to the police on his way to jail.
Back up. I had him throw this at me, officer. His little sack or whatever this was.
Tree people. A man was trespassing on private property, caught by the ranchers, who called the police immediately. The trespasser, initially described as trying to escape from tree people, appears paranoid and confused, claiming that he's just trying to avoid these mysterious figures. The ranchers, however, knew what he was up to. There had been a lot of illegal hunting of cows in the area, and this man was caught with a rifle on him. So, once the officer got the cuffs on him, they weren't coming off. Needed more research. This man broke into this house without really knowing what was going on inside. He subdued one man and made his way downstairs, only to find out it was a full-blown jiu-jitsu facility. The second they saw the man, they sprung into action, tackling him to the ground within seconds. Knuckle sandwich. This thief hadn't even made it inside the house before the owner caught him. He gave him a beating of a lifetime and threw in a fun, villainous laugh when he was done.
Was it open? Yeah.
Empty house? Not quite. This man was sneaking through what seemed to be an empty house. But before he could grab something, he got an unpleasant surprise, a fist to his face and his butt on the ground. This might be his first and his last burglary.
Get the fuck out of my goddamn house! Help! I apologize. Empty your pocket! I ain't got nothing in my pocket.
Woman's intuition. In Gwinnett County, Georgia, a woman fought back against 3 armed burglars who broke into her home. Surveillance footage shows the robbers entering with guns drawn, only to flee in panic as the woman, clad in slippers and pajamas, fired repeatedly at them. While they were running, the bullets hit them, so they couldn't stay hidden for too long. Super Dad. This homeowner turned the tables on 2 armed intruders who attempted to break into his house. Surveillance footage shows one of the attackers running toward the front door with a gun, only to be met by the homeowner pulling out his own weapon. The man fired shots at the intruders, leading to a shootout. After one intruder returned fire, both fled the scene, with one scaling a fence and the other running away. The homeowner, who was protecting his wife and baby, told police he was willing to die for his family, but that nothing in his home was worth dying for. Mom of the Year. This wife and mother bravely defended her family after 2 armed intruders stormed their home. The assailants fired multiple shots at her, narrowly missing as they demanded valuables. Pacheco, undeterred by the danger, grabbed her pistol. Her husband and another family member joined her, and they returned fire as the invaders fled in a getaway car. Although bullets struck doors, furniture, and a TV, none of the family members were injured. Pacheco said she wasn't scared, just focused on protecting her son, who had been in the path of the gunfire. Messed with the wrong mom. This mother fiercely protected her children from an intruder attempting to break into their home. A man tried to force his way through the front door, disturbing the family inside. The mother, while scared, grabbed a shotgun from her bedroom and confronted the intruder. As the man fled in fear, she refrained from firing, saying she just wanted to protect her children, and she did just that. Anything's a weapon if you try hard enough. This Chicago man got an alert on his security app that notified him of a break-in. But he had no weapon nearby, so he did the one thing he could think of. He grabbed the pan and went after the intruder. The man fled, but Williams kept pursuing, waving the pan overhead. The two returned into view, just as police arrived, with Williams continuing the chase. Police quickly detained the suspect, who finally surrendered. Not today. This woman and her housemate became victims of an attempted home invasion by 3 armed men. The men burst into the house, which was filled with restaurant supplies, and began casing the place. One suspect even turned on a light, allowing them to be caught on surveillance cameras. The woman woke up and called 911, but was disconnected. When she emerged from her bedroom, she was met face to face with a gun. A chaotic shootout followed, with one intruder breaking through a glass door to escape, and another 2 scrambling toward the front door. The homeowner and her guest ended up making it out just fine, while the intruders fled, leaving behind a trail of panic. No restaurant supplies are worth this much trouble. Not my signs. Fed up with neighbors stealing his election signs, a homeowner set up a paintball trap to defend his turf. After waiting for hours, he blasted sign thieves with paintballs. The next night, another neighbor attempted to steal signs and met the same paintball fate, learning the lesson the hard way. In Sarasota, Florida, a homeowner found himself right in the middle of an invasion as 2 men snuck into his backyard. Armed with a machete, he confronted the intruders. As one retreated, the other was cornered and held by the homeowner and his micro-dog until police arrived. 4 suspects were later arrested and won't be in a position to do anything like this to anyone else anytime soon. Always ready. This mother showed incredible awareness when she sensed something was wrong. As she and her child walked up to their home, she noticed an intruder nearby. Her instincts kicked in, and she kept a close watch while ensuring her child stayed safe. The father, recognizing the threat, quickly took action to protect them by pulling out his firearm. These were 2 incredible parents who had their eyes and ears peeled, so no one could ever get to their children. Can't touch this. This man defended himself during a home invasion by armed robbers. While the attackers crept up the stairs, the man noticed the threat, drew his gun, and shot at one of them. Despite initially being caught off guard and having to chamber around, he eventually forced the robbers to flee, but they didn't get very far, all thanks to his quick thinking and even quicker reflexes. Best neighbors ever. In Surrey, Canada, residents stopped an attempted home invasion by restraining one of the suspects with a belt. The incident occurred when 3 robbers attempted to break into a home. After hearing screams, AJ Maharaj locked his kids inside and ran outside to help, seeing the suspect being beaten and restrained. Weaponized scolding. This guy was trying to break into this woman's house, not realizing what he was messing with. The second she saw him, she came out, yelling her head off, wielding an Ottoman as a weapon. She was so scared that it took the thief 1 second to run, and barely got out of there in one piece. What was your favorite footage? Comment down below and let me know. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time. Goodbye.